Hey everybody, I'm Liz Ferry.
Hi guys, I'm Joey.
And welcome to another WIP Wednesday stream. We're going to show you the latest work in progresses that I've made. If you guys want to check out the WIP Wednesdays that we've done in the past, you guys can check out the playlist, and that'll probably be at the end of the video if you're watching the highlights, or in the link in the description. So let's get started then.
So on with our whips.
Alright, so lately I've been working on some different ways of doing doll hair. These are a couple of mermaids that I'm working on, and I'm using this watercolor yarn to make the hair. And as you guys can see, these yarn strands are very, very long. So I've been working on a way to make hair out of yarn, but make the hair maintain its length. I do like how the length of the hair really brings, I don't know, it brings these colors together in a trippy way. It's very like rainbow looking, I guess.
Yeah, totally.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's good. Good color palette for mermaid hair.
Yeah, and I just think that having the super long hair would be really good for a mermaid because their body can get so long. Maybe I should show you guys. Can I fit the whole hair on the camera? It's pretty long. So long. Maybe I should show you guys on the other camera just so that you guys can get a better idea of how long this actually is. So it looks like it's about a foot long, actually. Yeah, it's just a little bit over a foot long.
Wow.
Well, as I was working on those long strands of yarn hair, I made another bunch of strands that's the same length, but then I curled them just to see how that length looks curled. Let me show you guys that a little closer on the camera. But how much length does it lose from being curled? That's another thing that would be good.
Right, because the other one was like 12 inches.
Because it's the exact same length. Yeah, it was the exact same length. I just curled these strands.
My measurements out.
Yeah, let's have a look at how much it loses. Wow, it's just over 9 inches. Looks like it just about reaches 10, actually. So yeah, 10 inches, so it loses about 2.5 inches from being curled.
You lose a lot of length in the curl.
And these aren't very thick curls. They're particularly loose curls. So let's do a comparison of the straight hair compared to the not straight, to the curled hair. I wish I had some that was just before I straightened and curled, like just the plain yarn just to compare, but I don't have any right now. That's all right.
Vanilla yarn.
Well, when I do the tutorial, you guys will see, so. And there's one more that I've been working on. I've actually been using all the same colors, the same color of yarn to make all of these, just to kind of see what the different textures do to the yarn. So, here's one more that I've been working on, and this one I would rather use the smaller camera so that you guys can see, because it's kind of a shorter hairstyle.
A lot of fine details.
But yeah, I've been trying to get more of like a fluffy, like afro texture of hair for this doll, and I've gotten really close to something that I'm really into. I love how this is starting to kind of take shape. I think maybe I might try to get it to curl just a little deeper. But this particular texture has been really hard to maintain the length. It's really prone to break. So that's something that I've been working on. I'm going to try and see if I can lengthen it a little bit. Right. I think it looks really cute, especially with this color. I love this color yarn, and I think it came out really, really nice with this texture of hair. So the curls on this one are a little bit more curled, but this one was really hard to get to this level of curl, which is why I've only got 2 bunches on this doll, because a lot of them broke. And some of them, like the curl wasn't consistent enough, so I was only able to get 2 bunches that had a really nice tight curl.
Right.
So you can see that this one is a lot more tighter of a curl than this one is, because I used a lot smaller of a piece to curl this hair than I did for this one.
Tell us what you guys think, or leave it in the comments. Yeah, tell us what you guys think of that. Thanks, Lisa, for saying it's cute.
Thank you, Lisa. Alright, so there's all of our hairs. That's what I've been working on for like the past 2 or 3 days. it's just been nothing but hair around here.
Right.
So here's the one that I showed you guys last time. I haven't really worked much on this one, much more than I did the last time I showed you. So it's still pretty much the same. Oops, I dropped him.
No, he's trying to get away.
But I started a couple more of these guys. This one I haven't really done much on. It's literally just a head and shoulders.
Yeah, bust pretty much.
But yeah, I started another one, and I actually, while I was working on this one, I kind of ended up changing the pattern a little bit. I lengthened the torso a little bit, so I don't know if you can really tell the difference. And then also this yarn is kind of thinner than the yarn that I used for this one, so he just kind of came out naturally a little bit smaller.
Right.
With the exact same technique, so maybe if I was going to just use this yarn to make one of these, maybe it would be better to size it up if I wanted him to be the same size as this fellow. But yeah, so that's what I've got so far for this guy, and I kind of do like the changes that I made to the pattern, because I feel like this, for this guy, it kind of looks like the legs happen way too quickly after the torso.
Right.
It feels like he should be pulled out a little more. So I kind of added a couple more rows to the stomach to lengthen him. So I was working on a rose quartz dress last time I showed you guys, and it came out way too thin, and also the dress was kind of like not really poofy enough, I guess. But I made a couple of changes to it, and now it kind of looks like this. I'm not done with it yet. It only has the 2 layers of the skirts so far. But I figured out a way to make it petal out more without losing any of the width, and I also actually figured out a way to like make it continuously.
Right.
I think I could actually even make it like expand, like just
bell out.
Yeah, just bell out infinitely probably. But I don't really need to do that with the rose quartz dress, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on the doll. But yeah, let me show you guys this other dress. This one is also one that I showed you guys last time, but I've worked on it a little bit more. But I actually think I might frog it a couple of rows and do it again, because I think it came out just a little bit too wide. But here's this dress. I was thinking of making it a couple of rows longer and then adding like some white lace trim to the bottom of it, because I just like the idea of how this little pink dress would look with like lace on it. I just like the idea of how this particular shade of pink would look with white. Yeah. But yeah, some white lace on the bottom.
Yeah, nice little slim dress.
Yeah, I think would look really cute. Yeah, and I didn't really want. I've been making a lot of circle skirts, so I wanted to just make a slim dress this time. But the thing is that it kind of came out a little bit too big to be perfectly slim. I think it still works, but it's like, because of the thickness of this yarn, it makes a big difference for it to be just barely off size. So it's almost like for a slightly larger size doll.
I'm sure we're still
yeah, no, they can still see us. We're fine. It's just our stream our view of the stream keeps crashing. I'm just refreshing it again.
But hello everyone, thanks for joining us.
And thanks for all the compliments from you guys.
Yeah, it really means a lot. Thank you so much.
Mostly from Lisa and Demon Lee.
But still, thank you everyone else.
Yeah, and thanks for watching.
Along,
yeah, thanks for watching and for commenting and all of your support, you guys. So, do you guys like the idea of putting lace on the bottom of this, or maybe a different color lace? I don't know. And Demon Lee says lace would be pretty, so I agree.
Yeah, no,
yeah, I'm thinking white lace
to the bottom of it.
I'm thinking white lace, right?
Yeah, the short, yeah.
But yeah, here's what we have so far for this dress. And I kind of made the hole for the gem a little bigger this time, just so that I could like make sure that it has space. But I'm kind of liking how this is coming out. I'm not entirely sure if maybe I brought the petal of the dress down too low, but like I think it looks okay.
I think it looks pretty nice.
Like for the first attempt at doing this in a different way, I think it looks pretty good. Yeah. So I ended up frogging those. Those dresses that I first made because I figured out a different way of doing it. This is what I have so far. It still kind of looks like a tongue strand, but
A little bit less like tongues.
A little bit less like tongues.
It's definitely kind of, it's decorative looking. Like you could just run it up as streamers and it'd look very nice.
But, this time, I'm not sure if you guys can see, but they're a lot more connected to each other than they were the first time. Before, they were only connected right here at the very bottom. But now I have them a lot more connected together, just because I feel like that made it a lot easier to do the color change, and to, like, do each petal, like one row at a time, instead of having to do every petal, like, one by one by one.
Right, and then have them thinly attached.
Yeah, and then having them thinly attached. This one, I love the color changes on, like, the way that the yellow turns into pink. I love how that ended up. And, I'm almost thinking it would be trippy to, like, combine this technique with this, and to have this be the top layer.
Right.
And to put one of these underneath it, not with the same colors, obviously, not for, like, a rose quartz. But if I did something that was, like, I don't know, like a green layer with, like, with a flower petal layer, and then put that on top, and then stick one of these underneath. Maybe that's one way that I've thought of doing the bodice for it, if I want to do a full dress bodice. But anyway, I like how this layers on top more. It seems like it, like, I don't know, like it's, the petals are just connected better, and they're not like, I don't know. There was a lot of, like, popping up and flopping around. Like, it was hard to get it to, like, lay flat against them when they were only connected at that one little spot at the top. But I like how this structure folds together better, and the color changes are way easier to get that nice clean gradient from one color to another. So I really like this technique a lot better. And the first one that I made those out of control picos. This one I have a little bit more of a subtle serrated edge, so it almost looks more like a rose, I think.
Yeah, no, that looks really nice. And yeah, that's kind of going to probably be a thing with the flower dresses, is that it'll be hard not to think of tongues. Like,
that's all that I see when I make them. They just look like tongues. They're very pretty tongues.
Yeah. Right.
And one thing that I would really like to do, not with her because her hairstyle doesn't really permit it, but I want to do one that has like a fancy flower hat.
Yeah, no, I think
I would love to do one with a fancy flower hat
would be a great
with, like,
direction.
also a fancy flower dress. Like, she's going to a fancy flower ball.
Exactly.
Wouldn't that be awesome? So yeah, they do look like
and then you're right.
These look the least like tongues because they're yellow.
Right.
So
right, as opposed to these.
Yeah, those look a little more like tongues.
Yeah, and the way it overlaps, it looks really nice.
Yeah, and I went from like a bright yellow to a salmon to a rose pink to a magenta to get that color change gradient. And I think it came out pretty good. Yeah. So here is the other Pokemon that I've been working on. It's not quite finished yet because it doesn't have a tail or the hair or the hooves, but this is Mudbray. And this one, I don't know, it was from the last game that just came out, Pokemon Sun and Moon.
I know, right?
From the Alola region. But I just love the design of this Pokemon. Yeah. It's like a horse mixed with a donkey. It looks so cute. I love this Pokemon. But I figured since I was working on a pony pattern, I might as well make another pony Pokemon. Mm-hmm. It was a little tough to get the color changes exactly right for the legs. But let me show you guys a closer view of this little guy. I still need to do the hooves on this dude. That's why there's holes right here. I still have to do the hooves. But, the
color changes are nice.
Yeah, I think the color changes came out pretty decent.
It's a pretty nice donkey face. Donkey head.
Yeah. Yeah, there were a couple of things that I did differently to get it to be in this exact shape for the face that I did differently than what I did for all of my ponytails and stuff. I think I actually sewed around the nose and kind of tightened it just to give it that little pop at the nose. I made this teapot and teacup. There's no cap on it yet, and also they're pinned on the handle and the spout, so hopefully they don't fall off. They've been doing pretty good so far. The only part that's attached is the stand. I could have probably made it less tall, but I just kind of wanted it to be a bit of an eccentric teapot.
Yeah, no, that's great. It's like something you'd see on the Mad Hatter's tea party table.
That's kind of what I was going for. I think it would be really cool to try doing like color changes on it to try to make it have like a floral pattern or something like that.
Like make it put some blue in it, make it look like china. Or like classic porcelain china.
Yeah, doing like a bunch of color changes just to give it more of like a pattern.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, because it's kind of like there's a lot of space there. You could totally do a lot of stuff there. And the same thing for the teacup. You could probably give it like a matching pattern. We're going to be doing a live stream for the Cuphead in a couple of weeks. On the 22nd, we're going to do our Cuphead stream. Yeah, I believe it'll be the 22nd of April. Yeah, that will be on Sunday at, 4:30? 5? Something like that?
Yeah, probably 5 o'clock.
Yeah, let's do 5. So, on the 22nd at 5, we're going to do our Cuphead stream. And my Cuphead is pretty much done, you guys. Let me show it to you guys.
Bigger face came up.
Yep. So the Cuphead is pretty much done. I just need to finish doing the stitching at the mouth. I've just done the outline right now. But I finished doing the inside of the head and the straw. So I did a little bit more work around the eyes. The last time I showed it to you, I think the eyes were like kind of narrow. And I didn't really like that after looking at it for a while. I don't know. Sometimes it's good to just wait a couple of days after doing something like that and to just make sure that I can, like, I don't know, look at it kind of with fresh eyes, I guess, kind of.
Yeah, after you've been looking at a piece you've been working on for, like 4 or 5 plus hours.
And I think I cut the eyes out too and did them over again. So it's like, I don't know, it's like hard to, I've done it like, I had done it twice at that point. So, but I think they came out really, really good. And I've outlined where I think I want the mouth to go, but I'm not entirely certain that that's where I want the mouth to go. So, we shall see. I think it looks pretty good, right? From the side and stuff.
Yeah, looks good.
But,
it's the Yoshi that's
acting
again as a bit of a pin cushion right now.
Yeah. Actually, because, I used to have all of these pins in the Yoshi holding all of this on, but I've just finished sewing all the spikes and the shell to the Yoshi's back and sewing all of my ends in. Now I just need to do that last leg and that last arm and to paint the eyes. There's too many pins in your nose. I feel bad.
Let's hide them.
Let's put them on the arm. That feels a little less bad. So that's really close to being done.
Yeah.
So that's our last thing, right?
Yeah, that was our pile. So.
Yep.
Thank you guys so much for all the comments and
thanks for
joining us and coming and hanging out.
And thanks a lot for Lisa and Demonly for coming back every time, pretty much.
I know, right?
Thanks, you guys.
No, it means a lot having this community that we're trying to build up, and it's nice you guys showing interest. And if you guys have any pieces that you guys want to show off,
I forgot to say it at the beginning of the stream.
Posting pictures to Facebook, Tumblr.
Yeah, Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter. All that stuff.
Yeah. And we've gotten a couple of photos from you guys already, but we don't want to just show off like 1 or 2 photos. We're going to wait until we have a little bit of a collection.
Yeah.
And then eventually we'll try and find a format to be able to show off all these other works that you guys are showing too. And
yeah. And if you guys are interested in that Cuphead pattern, we're going to be live streaming. Some Cuphead gameplay, and I'll be working on pattern testing the Cuphead patterns, so people that are on Patreon will get that rough draft pattern for free on the day that we start streaming. So if you guys want to help test the pattern or work along with us, or if you guys just want to show up and watch us just play Cuphead,
watch me
talk about Cuphead,
struggle through Cuphead a little bit while
you guys can check out
the
progress of the piece I'll be working on. I'll actually maybe be working on that Mugman, which is pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, just with slightly different color changes, and the face has
and the face is a slightly different like size nose, I guess.
Right.
But yeah, so I might be working on Mugman, and Cuphead might be finished at that point. Probably will be finished. It's pretty much done already. So yeah, if you guys are interested in that, you guys can check out Patreon. The link is in the description. And I think that's it for this week. So next week we're gonna upload the highlights for this stream. And the next stream is going to be on Wednesday in 2 weeks. So the next WIP Wednesday stream is going to be on the 25th of April.
Yeah, so it'll be right after our Sunday stream of Cuphead.
Yep. So. And we have been pushing the streams back to 7:30, so we're going to do that again next time.
Yeah, so 7:30. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel.
And if you guys want to get notifications, make sure you click the bell.
Yeah, hit that bell, because you know, sometimes it's hard for
YouTube
people to be able to
crazy,
keep up with when people are posting their videos and everything. So.
Oh, and Lisa says good night. Good night, Lisa.
Yeah, so good night.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. And
so we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.